Hello folks, and thanks for stopping by. This is Wise Gamer again with another video. Today I'm going to be going over how to use your computer gamepad or game controller with the Nintendo GameCube emulator. Now the emulator I pretty lucked out on because I never played a Nintendo GameCube in my life really. But a buddy of mine has the actual system and he made an emulator. He got the emulator, but he put all the files into it to make it work. All the BIOS and all that good stuff and the engines. So what I'm going to be going over in this video is showing you guys how to set up your computer gamepad to work along with the emulator. And right here, of course, is the image of an actual Nintendo GameCube controller. So let me pull up the emulator. And we see that we got the game that I've been dying to play, Tales of Symphonia. I already got that loaded into the emulator, and I played a couple of hours of it last night. It's a really nice game so far. But anyways, let's go back up here to the GC pad, which is the GameCube pad settings. We're just going to click on that. It's going to take a couple of seconds for it to open up. Okay, now this is the one I already built and saved, so we're not going to use this one. We're going to use a fresh one. So we're going to click on Pad 2 with a clean slate, and we're just going to take it from here. Now I also want to mention that if you're still looking to set up your controller with your computer system, because you're going to need to do that for this device to recognize it, I have some other videos that I released, and those go into more steps of how to actually do that. So I'm going to have this in the same playlist, so it should be right in this playlist. Now, if you also notice too, I went to YouTube myself and watched a couple of videos similar to this kind of video that I'm making just to see if this flickering, if you look at this emulator on this page, you see things kind of flicker every now and then, like those boxes at the bottom. See, it's kind of flickering there. I thought something was freaking out with mine, or my buddy screwed up or something like that, but theirs was all doing it. So if yours is doing that, don't freak out. It works fine. So the first thing we're going to do is, once you have your controller plugged into the computer and all that good stuff, just go to Device here on top. And it should show up in the list. I'm using the Logitech Gamepad F310. So just click on that and then hit refresh. And give it a couple of seconds and it should pop up. There it is. Now to set this up is really, really simple. Now of course your controller might not be the same formation as the GameCube one is with A, B, X, Y, and Z. So just use whatever buttons that you're mostly familiar with on your controller to just match it along with this. Alright, so like A would be your main, say, like accept button when you're talking to people or picking up objects and things of that nature. So we're just going to press on the blank square or rectangle here next to A, and then I'm just going to hit the button on my controller next to that I want to use for A, and it's going to automatically just set it up just like that. Now it only gives you a second or two to actually press the button. Watch, it's going to say waiting, and then it's gone. So just click on it again. Go back to that button, press on it, and you're good to go. Same with X, same with Y, and Z. If you're not using a gamepad controller, I mean a GameCube controller, which I'm sure you're not with your actual computer system. Maybe you can. I don't know. I guess you could use Z for anything else, you know. So I'm just going to leave mine blank. Now we're just going to go to the start button and do the same with the start. Just hit the start button now. Again, I'm pressing the blank area on this with my mouse. Then it's going to say waiting. And before the waiting goes away, you want to press that button simultaneously on your controller. So it sets it up. And for MIC or whatever that is, I don't know what that is. I guess that's for the GameCube. I'm just going to use select button on mine. We got those set up. We're going to do what they call here the main stick. I call it the left stick on my controller. That's the left analog stick that sticks up. We're going to click on up on the empty box with the mouse, and we're going to go up with the stick, and you're all set with that. Same with down, left, right. Modifier, I'm going to press down on the stick because there's usually an additional fifth button there. And that's what I'm going to use for that one. Radius, dead zone, and all that stuff, we'll get into that maybe later on in another video, but for today it's just a basic setup. Now the C stick, which on my controller, I'm just going to use my right analog stick. I'm going to do the same thing. Up, down, left, right, and press straight down for the button. And that's it. Now for triggers. For this one, for the gamepad, for the GameCube, I keep saying gamepad, but for the GameCube, theirs is triggers left, right, left analog, right analog, but depending on the controller you use, they may call it something different, but seeing we're using this emulator, we're going to resort to their terminology. So for this, it's those top paddle buttons or whatever you want to call them on the very top of the controller. I'm going to set up the left one, so we're just again going to click on the empty box, left, now the right one, and then the back left, then the back right one. Now those are set up. Now the same with the directional pad. Up, down, down. See, my directional pad on my controller is kind of going out on me, but I don't use it that much, so I don't really care. All right, and that's the basic setup right there for setting up this gamepad with this emulator system. Now you can make a profile if you want. And now with profiles, I usually use the same one because most of the games I play are Japanese RPG style games, and they all operate the same way basically. The accept button's usually always the main button on the bottom. So, but for the sake of the video and all that, we are going to make a profile, and you could just type in whatever you want to name it. For this, I'm going to do it for the video. Video save, and we're going to hit save. Now if you ever lose this, you switch the pads up on top or whatnot, now you won't lose it forever. You just have to go back to the profile now. Say if we close this down or it crashed or something like that, go back to video save, hit load, and all the settings should come back. So you're all set with that. Now we're going to fire up the game and see how it works. Okay, let's do it. So now to start the game in these, if it's your first time using one of these like mine, you just highlight the game and then hit play up on top. Then you've got options in the video and all. I hope the music in this isn't going to be blasting in my ears. I could lower the volume. There we go. Alright, we'll let this load up a bit. Load game. Slot. So I did like 2 hours last night for the first time. Okay, and here we are. So we could see our guys moving fine. Let's see if we could get all the menus to open. Yeah, everything's working good. Click on system, that's all working. See if it cancels out. Very, very, very good. Now my Z button, I use the back top button. That's what I use for mine. And we could see that that's working. This is all automatic. I can't advance through this or anything like that. But with the power of filming, I could stop it. Now what we're going to do, I got to click back on this screen. Alright. We'll go outside and get into a fast fight and just see if everything's working right in the fight. Alright, here we go. And if you guys ever watched my other videos, you guys know I'm a fan of auto battles. So, and this game's got one. So we're just gonna let it do its thing. I guess it's not a true test for the controller though, because I don't really have to hit too many buttons here, but I could make it go manual. Well, I can still do all this stuff. Go into items. Use things. Let's see, anybody need an apple gel? No, I think they're all full. So I can do that. I can run if I want. So we could see that all the options, the menus are opening up, and they are able to walk in the direction that I'm pressing, so that's good. That means everything's working. So guys, until then, until the next video, which is probably going to be covering this game right here as soon as I get a little deeper into it, because right now I don't know too much about the game to really cover it. So once I get a little bit deeper into this game, that'll probably be my next video. But again, thanks for watching, Wise Gamer. Don't forget to sub up. Numbers are starting to climb. It's looking good. And again, I did come out with a little video yesterday explaining why I had to make a video for about 5 days. And I am planning on advancing my channel and adding a webcam. So we'll see how that goes in about another month. So until then, guys, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.